President Trump is doubling down on this blockade in the Strait of Hormuz, saying that other nations are grateful America is stepping in. International correspondent Robert Sherman joining us from Tel Aviv once again this morning. The president says China is not pushing back on the blockade, so that's a significant development. He also wrote a direct letter to the Chinese president.
Yeah, especially when you have ceasefires like this, Marni. Of course, hampering trade is going to be a key element to this naval blockade, but it's also the delivery of weapons that the Americans have been very focused in on. And that letter that President Trump sent to President Xi of China was asking him to not trade weapons with Iran, in which this is the statement that President Trump said on all of this here when it has come to the relationships between China and the U.S. over the Strait of Hormuz. China is very happy that I'm permanently opening the Strait of Hormuz. I'm doing it for them. Also in the world, this situation will never happen again. They have agreed not to send weapons to Iran. President Xi will give me a big fat hug when I get there in a few weeks. That's in reference to the state visit that President Trump is scheduled to make in a couple of weeks to China. But China has been centerfold in the situation here in the Middle East, which has really raised eyebrows around the globe. You had all this diplomacy that was taking place in China this week, hosting the leaders of Spain, the UAE, the foreign minister of Russia as well. You have also had China's foreign ministry trying to downplay and deny all these reports about China sending weapons to Iran or providing Iran with any intelligence. And now you have this letter here that President Xi apparently wrote to President Trump saying that that was not happening. But China's played a big role in all of this, especially when it has come to pushing Iran to the negotiating table. They've taken a vested interest in the situation here. And you understand why. They have major exposure to what happens in the Strait of Hormuz, to the tune of 1.5 billion barrels imported in 2025, making up 36.1% of all imports by China. So they have certainly cast a shadow over this whole situation that is here in the Middle East. They have been critical this week of the naval blockade that the U.S. has put up surrounding Iran as well. But at this juncture, you're the president there saying that China is not going to interfere with any of this at this juncture, as that naval blockade is set to remain in place. Marni?
And describe what we're seeing in the Strait with the blockade now in effect for nearly 2 days, what it all looks like.
Well, we actually just got an update from Central Command moments ago, and they say now that we're at about the 48-hour mark here, they say that no ships have been able to get past the naval blockade, and they've actually turned 9 around and redirected them. I mean, you're talking about over 10,000 U.S. service members here in the region, talking about at least a dozen ships as well, and the whole focus is, according to the U.S. Navy, not to cut off freedom of navigation, to still allow flow of traffic going through the Strait of Hormuz, but just to choke off all of these Iranian ports through the Strait of Hormuz to the Gulf of Oman, to the Sea of Oman, beg your pardon. But what we have heard from Central Command here is that this blockade so far has not allowed any ships to get through at this juncture. Iran, on the other hand, has been very critical of the U.S., and they have said that they're prepared to lash out around the region, targeting any of the ports that exist here in the region as well, or potentially expanding their scope to the Red Sea, another major trading corridor as well. And so, I mean, Iran obviously is feeling the pressure in all of this, but from the White House's position, they're hoping that that pressure leads to more negotiations and more talks. Marni?
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.